Hi, hello, manifestors. Good morning. How are you today? I like to begin my videos with something I'm grateful for. Um, I'm very grateful that my daughter recently directed a play at her high school all by herself. An entire play of about 8 to 10 actors, and it was about an hour long, and she did all that by herself. There were the teacher was there to supervise, but she wasn't involved at all. She's in the background, and my daughter did all that by herself. She's junior in high school, and she's able to do that. So I'm very grateful. She's on her way to becoming a great director and in the filming industry. So thank you, Unified Field, for giving her the ability, but also, most importantly, for motivating her to impress upon that ability to make something of her life at such a young age. So I'm very, very proud, and I'm very, very thankful of the Unified Field. Thank you. That leads us right into talking about why does it take time so long for a manifestation to take place, to come to fruition, to come into reality. And this is where a lot of people just give up, like I used to do when I began my journey. But if you understand how things come about in the physical reality, then you understand that there's a reason why it takes some time. Some things don't take long at all. Most things, I say, probably, at least from my experience, most things that are complex, takes some time. Okay, for example, you probably heard people, you probably did it yourself. You manifest a parking space. Let's say you drive around and you have in your mind, which parking space you want, and then by the time you get there, there it is. It's right there for you. Okay, usually manifesting a parking space is pretty easy to do. You increase the probability of it happening, and then chances are it does open up for you, and then you're right there on time. You take the parking space. Okay, that is insignificant because it normally, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't affect your entire life. So therefore, you can manifest it like that. But other things are more complex, such as I mentioned before, improving your financial situation, paying off your debt, becoming rich, millionaire, whatever, buying a house, finding a mate. All those things need more coordination, and that's why it takes longer. And that's the key right there. Now, there are many reasons. Okay, here are some of the reasons. First is karma. Okay, we live in a physical world that is controlled by our consciousness that is outside our physical world. Okay, it's like a video game. If you play a video game, you know that when the character that you control inside the game dies, you don't die, do you? Right? You don't die. The character died. And what do you do afterwards? If you want to continue to play the game, then you just pick a different character, you start a new game, and there you go. You continue on playing. Now, do you play exactly the same as you did before? No, because you had some experience. So now you know the game, and then you play better than you did before. If you don't, then of course, you're going to have to learn, and the character probably die, again, and then you keep learning over and over again. So every time you come back to a new game, we call that reincarnation. Okay, that is not, now people understand that what reincarnation is. When I was growing up and first came to America as an Asian dude, Asian kid, a lot of American kids at that time, there are not many Asians around. They didn't understand the concept of reincarnation. So when I tell them, they laugh and they say, "Well, what do you mean? You can come back as a dog, you come back as a cat, Say, now with video games, now they understand. Yes, if you choose to come back and play the character of a dog, of a cat, or whatever it is in the video game, yes, you can. You still outside the video game. Okay, so now they understand. It's not a foreign concept to understand. Okay. So the karma is what you have learned since you began the game. Okay. All the stuff you have learned in real life is called wisdom, right? In the video game, it's called the skill. Whatever the objective of the game is, every time you play the game, you hone your skill, and then you achieve the objective easier because you have experience, right? Same thing in real life, in this world. You come back, you reincarnate, you play a different character in order for you to learn more, to earn more wisdom. Learning here is about wisdom, okay? Not skill like in a video game, okay? In an artificially created video game. In the real video game, it is about wisdom. Wisdom is kind of like a skill. It's a life skill, right? It's a living skill, okay? So when you want to manifest something, your level of karma determines how long it's going to take for you to manifest that, okay? So that means from the time that you begin to manifest whatever it is you want to the time you get it is a learning curve, okay? And that learning is not about a skill, how well you shoot a, basketball, whatever, inside a human created video game. But it's about your wisdom and understanding of life, okay? And your wisdom has to be at the same level as what it is that you want to manifest. Otherwise, it's not going to last. Now, there are people that could manifest without earning the wisdom, okay? They usually lose it, though. It's a very, very harsh reality. For example, I did make this example before because I love cars. But let's say a young kid wants to get a Lamborghini, okay? He can go steal one, okay? You don't need wisdom for that. You just need to learn the skill to steal a car, okay? So he goes to steal the Lamborghini. He got it all right, okay? But guess what? Sooner or later, he's going to get caught, okay? And he's going to go to jail. That's the consequences, the negative consequences of obtaining something that your level of wisdom has not matched it, okay? That's just a physical example of obtaining a physical object. It could be something else. Let's say you want to find a long-lasting relationship. You want to find someone to settle down with, okay? If you're still immature at this level, okay, and life is all about yourself and you can't share, you don't even know what that means, there ain't no way you're going to find the person that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. It just won't match. You don't have the wisdom, the maturity in order to settle down with this person. So even if you found one, okay, and you try to settle down with that person, you're going to end up divorced because your maturity level is not there, you see? So you can go out and do things without quiffing, okay? Without quantum wave function collapse, without using your mind, using the consciousness of the unified field in which you are connected to. Without using that magic, you can obtain whatever it is you want, but it ain't gonna last. I tell you that. But why? Because your level is just not there. And it takes, depending on where you are at your level, it may take a lot longer to obtain what it is you need to obtain, okay? Physicist Tom Campbell, a physicist and consciousness researcher, Tom Campbell talks about ego, okay? We're born with egos. We have big egos, okay? And the bigger your ego, the more hindrance it is on your journey to wisdom, okay, to enlightenment, to a high level of consciousness, okay? So if you have a big ego, it's difficult to manifest, okay? You have to get rid of your ego, and that takes time. It takes a long time. And a lot of people don't even recognize that they have a big ego, like me. Okay, I admit it. I fully admit it. I had a big ego, Um, like any young person, I had a big ego when I was a young man, and so as a result, it hindered me. But at that time, you couldn't tell me that that was the reason. Okay, I will argue with you tooth and nail, like a lot of young people today. You tell them the truth, and they don't want to hear the truth. They just glaze it over. They just don't want to listen to you and accuse you of being old and whatever, and pull out all kinds of excuses on why you're wrong. Instead of looking at the mirror and saying, "Wait a minute, maybe, let's see." Let's see if that's true. Let's test it out, right? Because all it is if you really, all it boils down to is about evidence, okay? You can't go through life listening to everybody because everybody has an opinion. They pull you this way, the other one pulls you this way. The only thing you can do is keep in the back of your mind whatever they say and then gauge it against your experience and see if it's true. If that's true, is that true? What he said is true? Don't make any judgment yet, okay? Give it a little time, okay? Let it simmer, live through it, and see if it's true. If it's true, then you take that, okay? That is true. But don't just accept anybody, even so-called experts, okay? They may have very fancy titles, but that does not guarantee they know what the heck they're talking about, especially when it comes to your life, okay? And your personal life, right? Your experience through life. Nobody has the same exact experience you do, right? Not exact, okay? So it's really you that can determine. We have to open your eyes and ears and be objective and take your ego away from it and observe as if you are from the outside looking in at yourself. You don't have to tell anybody, okay? You just have to be honest with yourself, okay? So then when you do that, you allow yourself to grow, to change, to become better. So, like back to my example about finding a mate for life. If you have always been selfish, you never thought about anybody, you never cared about anybody, it's all about you, you only take, you don't give, okay? You're not going to have a successful marriage, okay? You won't have a good start to begin with in order to lead to marriage, okay? So then you have to grow. And the only way for you to grow is if you, one, allow yourself time, and number two, you gotta listen. You gotta get rid of your ego and learn as you go along. Accept that you need to learn. Accept that you don't know something, okay? So that you can allow yourself to learn and move forward. And that's how you do it. And before you know it, you will meet somebody. The right person will come. As they say, the teacher will come when the student is ready, okay? The opportunity will come to you when you are ready. When you are not ready, you can physically try to force it, but it's not gonna be right for you. It's not gonna flow naturally. So if you're ready, it's gonna flow naturally. You're gonna meet somebody, and then this one thing leads to another, and it just clicks, and then you before you know it, you're married, you settle down, you whatever, okay? Live your life, okay? Same thing with becoming rich. There are people who are rich today, but tomorrow they're very poor. They're out in the streets. That's because they didn't do it right, okay? You don't do it right. Because some things takes time, some things take time to grow. They call it organically grow. You can't force something to happen and expect it to last. It may happen quickly, of course. If you want to cheat on somebody in order to make money off them, and you keep doing that, yeah, you get rich quick, but you're not going to keep it, because after a while, people will find out that what you say is hollow, doesn't help them, your products suck, or your service sucks. So they will get rid of you, and that's when it really hurts, because there you are, when you're a millionaire, all of a sudden you lost it all. Okay, that's what happens. When you don't organically grow, it takes time. So I hope this helps you in your journey to manifestation. What I do, unlike other sites that help you manifest, some of them are very good. Take their advice. If it works, if they work for you, use it. Use them. If you want a different perspective, a little bit of different insights, you can use what I say and just test it out for yourself. Okay. I hope I give you a different perspective so that you can be more successful in manifestation. There are a lot of things that I had questions on when I first began my journey 10 years ago, and nobody had the answer to, and I had to, go through myself and find out. Another thing too, you do have to go through it yourself. Okay, you got to keep an open mind. You got to use logic. You got to get rid of your ego in order for you to learn the lesson and see the lesson, see what's going on. If you go blindly and all you want to do is, like me at first, everybody, oh, I just want that. Don't tell me anything else. I just want that, whatever it is. I want to be rich. I want to have a car, a nice car. I want to have, a nice chick or whatever, or find a nice man, or, get settled down. I don't care about anything else. No. Yes, you do care about everything else that goes with it, because things happen. Many things have to happen before you can manifest. Depends on, like I said before, your karma, the situation you're in. It has to fit. It has to fit the narrative. So that takes time. The next video, I'm going to talk about examples of why it takes time. More examples of why it takes time, so that you can rest assured that things will come. You just have to have patience, and you have to learn. If it hasn't come yet, that means there's something that the Unified Field wants you to learn that you haven't learned yet. Okay, whatever it is. It could be right under your nose. Okay, but because of your ego, it blocks it. You haven't learned. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and see you next time. Happy manifestation.